Today we're heading to Japan, a place literally living on the edge, the Pacific Ring of Fire. Think about it. Around 1,500 quakes a year. They get about 20% of the world's strong earthquakes. Now, for most places, that sounds like just, well, constant danger. But Japan's turned it into something else. So today's deep dive. How do they actually coexist with this? It's all tied up in this idea of Bosai culture.
Exactly. And what's so fascinating, I think, is that it's not just about the high-tech stuff, though that's, a huge part of it. It's this really deep, multi-layered approach. They blend the hard skills, engineering, tech with the soft skills. So community, culture, preparedness, it's this constant pressure that's really driven incredible progress.
Okay, let's unpack that. Starting with the buildings, the engineering side. How did their building codes get to where they are now? I remember reading about a big shift in the 80s, the 1981 new anti-seismic design standard.
Yes, 1981. That was absolutely pivotal. Came after some big wake-up calls. It basically mandated that buildings had to handle 100% of their own weight pushing sideways without collapsing, crucially. And the proof really came later in the 1995 Great Hanshin quake. It was dramatic. Only about 3% of the post-81 buildings collapsed. Compare that to something like 76% of the ones built before 1971.
Wow, that's stark. A real testament to adapting policy.
It really is. Learning from disaster.
And they didn't stop there, right? Now they talk about Taishin, Seishin, and Menshin. So resistance, damping, and isolation. What's the thinking behind that shift? It sounds like more than just preventing collapse.
Exactly. It's a move towards minimizing damage and ensuring functionality, getting back to normal quickly. So Seishin, seismic damping, uses devices inside the building to absorb energy. Think of the Tokyo Skytree. It actually uses principles from ancient pagodas to cut vibrations by about half, 50%.
Incredible. And Menshin. Isolation.
Right, mention seismic isolation. This is pretty amazing. You essentially put a layer, often with like rubber bearings between the ground and the building. It practically decouples the building from the shaking. So inside, the movement is drastically less. By 2015, they had over 4,000 buildings using it. It shows this real focus on keeping things running after the quake.
Makes sense. But what about all the older buildings? That must be a huge challenge, retrofitting.
Oh, absolutely. It's that two-speed problem, isn't it? Public buildings, schools, they're doing great. Nearly 100% retrofitted. Huge effort. But private homes, that's lagging a bit, even with government goals. It's an ongoing process adapting the existing stuff.
Right, a continuous journey. Okay, so buildings are one thing, but you also mentioned early warnings. This is where it gets really interesting for me. The GMA Earthquake Early Warning System, the EEW. How does that work? Catching those first waves.
Yeah, the EEW is clever. It uses this dense network, over 4,200 seismometers. They detect the initial P waves, the primary waves, which travel faster but are less damaging. And that gives maybe just a few seconds, sometimes more, before the destructive S waves, the shear waves, arrive.
Just seconds. But that's enough to make a difference.
It really is. Seconds are precious. Enough time for automated systems to kick in. High-speed trains automatically brake. Elevators head to the nearest floor and open. Gas lines can shut off to prevent fires. We saw it work really well during that 2025 Kamchatka event. The tsunami alerts went out, 2 million people evacuated, trains stopped. They had 1.3 meter waves hit, but the damage was minimal. The system worked.
Wow. And it's not just the EEW, there's also the J-Alert system.
Yes, J-Alert. That's the national warning system. It pushes alerts out everywhere. Satellite-based, so it hits loudspeakers, TV, radio, phones. There's even a multi-language app called Safety Tips.
So multiple channels, just in case one fails.
Exactly. Redundancy is key in a crisis, making sure the message gets through no matter what.
Okay, so we have the tech, the engineering, the warnings. But let's talk about those soft skills, the Bosai culture. How does that work day to day?
It's woven into life, really, starting very young. Disaster education, drills in schools, it's normal. They even have Disaster Prevention Day every September 1st. And kids learn that famous phrase for earthquakes: don't push, don't run, don't speak, don't go back. Simple, but it saves lives.
And it's not just schools, right? Community groups play a big role.
A massive role. The Volunteer Fire Corps, for instance, you mentioned the number is 890,000 volunteers. That's almost 6 times the number of professional firefighters. They, along with neighborhood associations, are like the immediate first responders on the ground. It's very decentralized, very community-based.
That's fascinating. And I heard about these old stone markers, tsunami warnings from the past.
Yes, the tsunami stones. They're literally warnings carved in stone by ancestors, sometimes centuries ago, saying, don't build below this point. It shows how deep this goes. It connects to cultural ideas like Shintoism's view of living in harmony with nature's power, even the old myth of the giant catfish, the Namazu, causing quakes. It didn't lead to fatalism, but actually encouraged thinking about stronger buildings way back when. There's a proverb, disasters happen when people forget. So the idea is, you always have to be prepared.
So pulling this all together,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway here? Japan's approach seems so complete.
It really is holistic and dynamic, too. It's this constant cycle. Invest in tech, educate the public continuously, adapt the rules, and rely on that deep cultural foundation of preparedness and working together.
It's truly impressive.
Yeah.
A constant evolution.
And maybe the lesson for all of us, isn't just about earthquakes. It's that real resilience might not be about trying to stop challenges or fight nature. Maybe it's more about understanding the risks, adapting constantly, and learning how to live with the powerful forces around us. Makes you think, doesn't it? What can we take from that commitment in our own lives?